Have you ever questioned whether reality is truly what it seems? What if everything you experience is actually shaped by your beliefs, your thoughts, and even your faith? Science is now uncovering something so powerful that it aligns perfectly with ancient spiritual wisdom. Your mind has the power to shape the universe itself, and this isn't just philosophy. This is a fact backed by quantum mechanics, psychology, and even the Bible. What if I told you that the way you think, the way you observe the world, and the way you believe in God can literally alter your reality? That the struggles, the blessings, the opportunities, and even the obstacles in your life are being influenced by your subconscious mind in ways you never realized. The truth is, everything you accept as real becomes real for you. And if you don't take control of this process, your life will keep repeating the same patterns over and over again. Today, we're going to uncover scientific proof that reality is not objective, and that your faith, your focus, and your spiritual awareness determine what version of reality you experience. We'll explore ancient biblical principles that reveal how your subconscious mind controls 95% of your life, how self-sabotage keeps you trapped in the same struggles, and most importantly, how you can break free and step into the reality God intended for you. This isn't just another motivational talk. This is a revelation that could change the way you experience life forever. So before we begin, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed patterns in your life that seem to repeat, no matter how hard you try to change? Have you ever felt like you're stuck in cycles of struggle or negativity? If so, this video is exactly what you need. And if you believe in the power of faith and the mysteries of the universe, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now. A lot of people watch our content but forget to subscribe, and you don't want to miss the revelations we share here every week. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover is the key to unlocking the life you were truly meant to live. What if everything you've ever believed about reality was just a reflection of your own mind? The idea that the world is a fixed, objective place crumbles under closer examination. Science, philosophy, and ancient mystical traditions all point to a startling truth. Reality is not something that exists outside of us. It is shaped by our thoughts, beliefs, and consciousness. Even the Bible hints at this concept in Proverbs 23:7, which states, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." This isn't just poetic wisdom. It's a spiritual law that governs the universe. The deeper one explores the fabric of existence, the clearer it becomes that perception is not passive. It is the very force that molds the world around us. This concept is echoed in one of the most ancient spiritual teachings, the Hermetic principle, which declares, "The all is mind. The universe is mental." What does this mean? It suggests that the universe itself is consciousness in motion, and everything within it, including time, space, and matter, is shaped by the mind observing it. This aligns remarkably with quantum mechanics, where the presence of an observer changes the behavior of subatomic particles. Could it be that what we call reality is nothing more than a grand illusion, a projection of divine consciousness that we as spiritual beings actively participate in? If this is true, then we are not merely passive observers of life, we are creators. Understanding this truth can radically change how we experience life. If your mind influences reality, then your beliefs act as a filter, determining what you see, what you attract, and what you experience. This is why two people can witness the same event, yet interpret it in completely different ways. One sees a world full of opportunity, while the other perceives only obstacles. The difference? Their internal programming. If a person is conditioned to believe in scarcity, their world will reflect scarcity. If another is deeply connected to spiritual abundance, their reality will confirm it. Jesus emphasized this power when he said, "According to your faith be it unto you." Matthew 9:29. Your faith, your focus, and your beliefs dictate the nature of your experience. But here's where it gets even more profound. This principle doesn't just apply to individual perception, it applies to the entire universe. What if the physical world is not the foundation of reality, but merely a shadow of something greater? The Apostle Paul hints at this in 2 Corinthians 4:18. "For the things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal." If this is true, then what we see, touch, and feel is not ultimate reality, but a temporary manifestation of something far more mystical and profound. The ancient wisdom of spirituality and modern physics seem to be whispering the Same secret. Reality is fluid, and the only thing truly fixed is the divine consciousness that gives it form. So if reality bends to the mind, the next question is, who or what is truly doing the observing? Is it simply our own limited consciousness, or is there a higher force, something divine that interacts with our perception? This is where science and spirituality collide in the most fascinating way. To understand the true power of observation, we must look at one of the most baffling experiments in quantum mechanics, the double-slit experiment. And trust me, what this reveals will change the way you see the world forever. Imagine standing before an ancient mystical mirror, one that does not merely reflect your physical appearance, but rather your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Now, what if I told you that this isn't just a metaphor? Science has uncovered something profound. Your observation alone has the power to change the physical world. This is not speculation. It is a fact proven by one of the most famous experiments in quantum physics, the double-slit experiment. What this experiment reveals is so shocking that it shatters the very foundation of what we believe about reality. Physicists discovered that when light particles, photons, are sent through two slits, they behave differently depending on whether or not they are being observed. When no one is watching, the particles act like a wave, spreading out and creating an interference pattern. But the moment they are observed, they suddenly behave like solid particles, choosing a single path as if they are aware of being watched. This suggests that consciousness itself plays a role in determining how reality unfolds. Could it be that reality is not set in stone, but rather shaped by the mere act of observation? This discovery aligns perfectly with spiritual teachings that have existed for millennia. The Bible repeatedly emphasizes the power of faith and intention in shaping reality. Jesus himself said in Matthew 17:20, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move." What if this was not just a spiritual metaphor, but an actual principle woven into the very fabric of the universe? If consciousness has the ability to alter the physical world, then faith is not just belief. It is a force that interacts with the unseen, shaping what is yet to manifest. The implications of this are staggering. If the universe responds to observation, then your thoughts, intentions, and beliefs are actively creating the world you experience. This is why people who dwell in negativity seem trapped in a cycle of hardship, while those who cultivate gratitude and spiritual awareness often find their lives flowing with blessings. What you focus on expands. What you believe, you bring to life. This is not just a law of the mind, it is a law of the universe itself. But this raises an even greater question. If consciousness shapes reality, then what happens when we surrender our consciousness to a higher power? Could faith in God act as the ultimate observer, aligning our personal reality with divine will? The answer may lie in the workings of the subconscious mind, which is responsible for shaping 95% of our daily lives. And once you understand how deeply your subconscious beliefs control your reality, you will never see life the same way again. Most people believe they are in control of their lives, making conscious decisions every day. But what if that's just an illusion? Science now confirms what spiritual traditions have taught for centuries. 95% of your daily thoughts, actions, and decisions are controlled not by your conscious mind, but by your subconscious. This means that while you may believe you're choosing your reality, it's actually your deeply ingrained beliefs and past programming that are shaping your experiences. The question is, who programmed your subconscious? And is it aligned with God's truth or with limiting fears and illusions? Psychologists have discovered that most of our subconscious programming is formed between birth and the age of 7. During these formative years, we absorb beliefs from our parents, society, and the world around us, often without questioning them. If a child grows up hearing, "Money is hard to get," "relationships never last," or "I'm not good enough," those beliefs become embedded in the subconscious, shaping every decision in adulthood. These hidden beliefs act as spiritual strongholds that either align us with divine abundance or trap us in cycles of struggle. The Bible warns about this in Romans 12:2. "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." In other words, if you do not actively reprogram your subconscious with truth, it will continue running on old, limiting beliefs. This is why so many people feel stuck, repeating the same struggles year after year. A person who was conditioned to believe that success requires suffering will unknowingly sabotage easy opportunities. Someone who grew up in a toxic environment may unconsciously attract similar experiences as an adult. This is not random. It is the subconscious mind seeking familiarity, even if it leads to suffering. Jesus spoke about this phenomenon in John 8:32. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. What truth? The truth that you are not bound by your past, your fears, or your old programming. The moment you become aware of this hidden force, you gain the power to change it. So how do we take control of the subconscious mind? Through repetition, visualization, and faith. Studies show that the subconscious cannot differentiate between real experiences and vividly imagined ones. This is why athletes mentally rehearse victories before competitions. It trains the subconscious to accept success as reality. The same applies to spirituality. When you meditate on Scripture, affirm God's promises, and visualize the life He has for you, you are literally rewiring your subconscious to align with His will. Proverbs 18:21 declares, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." What you speak, what you dwell on, and what you believe at a subconscious level will ultimately shape your life. But if the subconscious is running 95% of your life, how can you be sure it's not leading you in circles? What if your mind has been programmed to keep you trapped in cycles of self-sabotage? This is exactly what happens to those caught in the loop of reality, a cycle so powerful that it convinces people they are destined for failure. And until you break free, you will continue reliving the same patterns over and over again. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, you keep ending up in the same situations, facing the same struggles, making the same mistakes, attracting the same problems? This isn't just coincidence. It's the result of a hidden force running your life. It's called the reality loop, and it's a subconscious program designed to keep you locked in familiar patterns, even if those patterns are destructive. The most dangerous part, you don't even realize it's happening. The subconscious mind craves familiarity. Even if a situation is painful, if it's something you've experienced repeatedly, your subconscious registers it as safe. This is why some people keep attracting toxic relationships, struggling financially, or battling the same emotional wounds for years. Their subconscious is simply replaying an old program, reinforcing beliefs like, "This is just how life is," or "I can't escape this." But here's the truth. You were not created to live in a cycle of struggle. The Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians 5:17, "If anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here." This means that no matter what your past has been, you have the power to break free from the old patterns that no longer serve you. But breaking the cycle requires awareness. The first step is recognizing where in your life you are experiencing repetition. Are you constantly drawn to people who don't respect you? Do financial struggles seem to follow you no matter what you do? Do you feel like you always sabotage success the moment things start going well? These patterns are not accidents. They are signs that your subconscious is keeping you in a loop. The enemy uses this cycle to keep people distracted, frustrated, and disconnected from their true purpose. But once you see the pattern, you have the power to change it. How do you break free? The answer lies in conscious reprogramming. Jesus said in John 10:10, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." God has already given you the ability to step into a new reality, but you must first reject the old one. This means actively changing your thoughts, actions, and beliefs. When you catch yourself thinking, "I always mess things up," replace it with, "I am capable, and God has equipped me for success." When fear tells you, "Things never work out for me," declare, "God is working all things for my good." Romans 8:28. It is through conscious effort, prayer, and faith that the old cycle begins to break. But there is one final piece to this puzzle, something that keeps many trapped, even when they start making changes. It's a psychological phenomenon called confirmation bias, and it's the reason why some people never escape the mental prison they've built for themselves. Understanding how it works is the key to finally seeing reality in a completely new way. Imagine putting on a pair of tinted glasses. Everything you see, is filtered through that color, and no matter how much you try to see the world differently, the lens distorts your perception. This is exactly how confirmation bias works. Your mind is constantly searching for evidence to support what you already believe, whether that belief is true or not. And here's the dangerous part. If your subconscious is programmed with limiting beliefs, your reality will keep reflecting them back to you. Think about it. If someone deeply believes that the world is against me, their mind will unconsciously filter out anything that contradicts that belief. If they receive kindness, they'll dismiss it as fake. If an opportunity arises, they'll assume it's a trap. Every negative event will feel like proof that life is unfair, not because reality is actually against them, but because their mind refuses to see anything different. Proverbs 23:7 confirms this spiritual truth. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Your beliefs shape not just how you see the world, but how the world responds to you. This is why two people can go through the exact same experience and come out with completely different interpretations. One sees failure, the other sees a lesson. One sees rejection, the other sees redirection. Jesus demonstrated this principle over and over again. In Matthew 9:29, he told the blind men seeking healing, "According to your faith, be it unto you." In other words, the outcome was determined by their belief. Their ability to receive healing wasn't about Jesus' power. It was about their own perception of what was possible. But here's where confirmation bias becomes truly dangerous. It doesn't just affect how you see the world, it affects what you attract. If your subconscious mind believes, "I am unworthy of love," you will unconsciously gravitate towards people who reinforce that belief. If you believe money is hard to get, you will subconsciously block financial opportunities without realizing it. This is why some people seem stuck in patterns that never change, not because reality is against them, but because they keep looking for the wrong evidence. So how do you break free? You must change what you believe at the deepest level. The Bible tells us in Romans 12:2, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This means shifting your internal narrative. Instead of focusing on everything that goes wrong, start deliberately seeking evidence of God's provision, His favor, and His guidance. Train your mind to look for signs of abundance, love, and possibility. As you do this, your reality will begin to shift. But there's one final piece to this puzzle, something that explains why some people, even after learning these truths, still struggle to change. It's because the subconscious is addicted to the familiar, and unless you rewire it, it will always pull you back into old patterns. Have you ever wondered why, even when people desperately want to change, they keep falling back into the same habits, relationships, and struggles? The answer is simple. The subconscious mind is wired to seek what is familiar even if it's harmful. This is why some people leave toxic relationships only to enter another one just like it. It's why others sabotage their success right when they're about to break through. And it's why, no matter how much someone prays for change, they often find themselves trapped in old cycles. Psychologists have discovered that the brain seeks safety over happiness. If your mind has been conditioned to associate chaos with normal, you will unconsciously recreate chaos in your life. If you grew up in a household where love meant pain, you may unknowingly be drawn to relationships that reflect that dynamic. This is not because you want to suffer, it's because your subconscious fears the unknown more than it fears pain. The Israelites faced this exact struggle after being freed from slavery in Egypt. Instead of embracing the promised land, they longed to return to captivity because, even though it was painful, it was familiar. Exodus 16:3. The subconscious mind is like a thermostat. If your internal temperature is set at a certain level, whether for money, love, success, or happiness, your mind will do everything in its power to keep you there. This is why someone who suddenly receives financial abundance might find a way to lose it, or why a person who finds true love might push it away. Unless you change the internal setting, your subconscious will always pull you back to what it recognizes as normal. Proverbs 4:23 warns us, "Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life." Your heart, your subconscious, shapes your destiny. But here's the good news. What is familiar can be reprogrammed. The same way negative patterns became ingrained in your subconscious, new patterns can take their place. Faith, prayer, and repetition are the tools that reshape the mind. This is why Jesus said in Mark 11:24, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." The key isn't just asking, it's training your subconscious to accept the new reality as truth. So how do you break free from the addiction to familiarity? You must make the unknown feel safe. This means surrounding yourself with people who reinforce your new reality, meditating on scriptures that align with your desired change, and practicing gratitude for blessings you haven't yet seen. The more you expose your mind to a new way of thinking, the more familiar it becomes. But here's where the real transformation happens. Once you consciously choose your thoughts, you begin to consciously create your reality. And the next step in this journey is learning exactly how to do that. If your subconscious mind is shaping 95% of your reality, then the key to changing your life isn't just working harder, it's rewiring your mind to align with a new reality. But how do you do this? How do you break free from old patterns and step into the life God intended for you? The answer lies in ancient spiritual wisdom, modern psychology, and the very nature of the universe itself. One of the most powerful methods for reprogramming your subconscious is visualization. Jesus himself used this principle when he said in Mark 11:24, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Notice that he didn't say hope or wish for it, he said believe. Why? Because when the mind accepts something as reality, it begins working to bring it into existence. This is why athletes mentally rehearse winning before competitions, and why successful people often credit visualization for their achievements. Your mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply follows the blueprint you give it. Another profound method is Ho'oponopono, an ancient Hawaiian prayer of healing and forgiveness. This simple practice consists of 4 phrases: "I'm sorry," "Please forgive me," "Thank you," "I love you." Though it may seem simple, it has the power to clear subconscious blocks, releasing old emotional wounds that keep people trapped in repetitive cycles. Many don't realize that holding on to resentment or guilt is one of the greatest barriers to transformation. Jesus emphasized this in Matthew 6:14-15 when he said, "If you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you." When we release emotional weight, we create space for new blessings to enter. But perhaps the most important tool of all is emotion. People often repeat affirmations without truly believing in them. The secret is not just in the words, it's in feeling the emotion of your desired reality as if it has already happened. If you want financial abundance, you must not only affirm it, but feel gratitude as if you have already received it. If you desire love, you must embody the joy of already being loved. This aligns with Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. What you speak with conviction, backed by genuine emotion, becomes your experience. The process of reprogramming reality isn't just about thinking differently, it's about living differently. It's about aligning your actions, emotions, and faith with the new reality you seek. And once you grasp this truth, an even deeper revelation emerges. You are not just choosing small changes in your life, you are choosing which version of reality you will experience. Because in the realm of quantum possibilities, every outcome already exists. The only question is, which one will you step into? If you could see beyond the physical world for just a moment, you would realize something astonishing. Every possible version of your life already exists. There is a version of you living in lack and another thriving in abundance, a version trapped in fear and another walking in faith. The question is, which one will you align yourself with? Science has confirmed what spirituality has long taught. The universe operates on the principle of infinite possibilities. And the choice of which reality you experience is not random. It is determined by your beliefs, focus, and faith. This concept is reflected in quantum mechanics, where particles exist in multiple states until observed. The moment a conscious observer interacts with them, they collapse into a single reality. Could it be that your life works the same way? That every choice, every thought, and every belief is an act of observation that determines the reality you step into. This aligns with Deuteronomy 13:19, where God declares, "I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life, so that you and your children may live." Notice that the choice is yours. Reality does not choose for you. You choose your reality. Many people feel like victims of their circumstances, but the truth is they are simply living out the reality that aligns with their subconscious beliefs. If you constantly affirm that life is hard, your subconscious will lead you down paths that confirm that belief. If you believe God is always providing for me, your subconscious will direct you towards blessings and opportunities. The kingdom of God is within you, Luke 17:21, and you have been given the power to shape the world around you. But that power must be claimed through faith and action. This is why Jesus repeatedly emphasized faith. When he performed miracles, he often said, "Your faith has made you well." Luke 8:48. He was showing us that faith is not just a belief, it is a spiritual law that governs reality. The moment you accept a new reality in your heart, the universe, through divine order, begins rearranging itself to match that belief. This is why shifting your focus from fear to faith, from doubt to trust, from scarcity to abundance can literally change the course of your life. The power to step into a new reality is already within you. So the real question is, what reality are you choosing today? Are you passively accepting the one handed to you by old beliefs and past conditioning? Or are you actively choosing the reality God has promised for you? Because at this very moment, infinite possibilities exist, and the one you believe in the most is the one you will live. Now, that you know the truth, the question remains, what reality are you choosing? Are you still allowing old beliefs and subconscious patterns to shape your life? Or are you ready to take control, align your mind with divine truth, and step into the life God intended for you? The power has always been in your hands. You just needed to realize it. Have you ever experienced moments where your thoughts seem to shape your reality? Have you noticed patterns repeating in your life? I want to hear from you. Share your experience in the comments below. I read every one of them, and your insight might help someone else on their journey. And don't forget, if this message resonated with you, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. This channel exists to bring you deep spiritual revelations that most people will never hear. And if you're ready for the next step in this journey, watch the video on your screen right now. It will take you even deeper into the mysteries of how faith and consciousness shape the universe. I'm Celestial Truths, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep expanding your mind, strengthening your faith, and unlocking the power within you.